I have no freezer meals left in my freezer. So today I'm going to be putting together some breakfast freezer meals and dinner freezer meals.
Whatever we would do it just for fun.
Hello, welcome to Life's Little Things. This is a collab with my friend Kimmy from She's in Her Apron. Kimmy's channel is very similar to mine, except she has some videos where she takes you through and shows you how to build food storage. She breaks it down for monthly food storage and so on, and they are just so informational, and I always enjoy watching those. Other than that, she likes to decorate, cook, do freezer meals. Speaking of which, she is putting freezer meals together today, and I have her video and her channel linked below. So make sure you go on over to Kimmy's channel and watch what she's making for freezer meals, because between the two of us, you're gonna be able to really fill your freezer. I'm gonna start off by putting together some breakfast freezer meals first. I have two really good recipes that are super easy to prepare. The first one is going to be breakfast burritos. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am so glad you're here. Here at Life's Little Things, I do a wide variety of videos: cooking, cleaning, organizing, decorating. I love decorating for the holidays. And lots of motivation for all of us homemakers. And when I say homemakers, I mean even if you work outside of your home or you work inside of your home, we are all homemakers. I hope you hit that subscribe button and become a part of our YouTube family.
While the breakfast sausage is cooking in the skillet, I am putting 9 eggs in a bowl. To that, I am adding a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Giving everything a really good whisk and heading back over to the breakfast sausage in the skillet. I am pouring the eggs all over the breakfast sausage, and I'm going to cook those through. After the eggs have cooked, I am adding a half a cup of salsa. You can use whatever kind is your favorite. Now comes the cheese. You add 3/4 cup of shredded cheese. You can use any kind. I chose to use taco cheese. To assemble the burritos, I lay a tortilla onto plastic wrap, knowing that I'm going to freeze these. You can use 1/3 to a half a cup of the filling. I am using 1/3 cup of the filling, and that worked out perfectly. I am adding the filling to the center of the tortilla, and I am folding it up burrito style. I am wrapping each burrito tightly in plastic wrap, and I am setting them aside. I'm continuing this process until all 10 of the burritos are made. After the burritos have cooled, I am placing them in a gallon-sized freezer bag. Now, me and Jason had a burrito. We wanted to taste them, and let me tell you, they were delicious. Jason ended up taking a burrito for his breakfast on the mornings that he went to work this week. You can cook the burritos frozen in the oven, or you can thaw them overnight in the refrigerator. If you cook them in the oven, you need to remove the plastic wrap and wrap the burritos in foil. You would cook them on 400 degrees for 40 minutes or until the center is hot. Jason just heated his up in the microwave, and they were perfectly fine.
This next freezer meal is perfect for busy mornings where you are just running out the door and you need something to grab. This one is pumpkin spice baked oatmeal cups.
I am starting out by preheating my oven to 350. In a bowl, I'm adding 3 cups of rolled oats, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I am mixing this together. and setting it aside. To a separate bowl, I am adding 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil, 1 cup of unsweetened coconut milk, 1 cup of pure pumpkin puree, and I'm whisking these ingredients together until well blended. Now I am stirring in 1 cup of dried unsweet cranberries. I'm going to let these set in the batter for about 1 to 2 minutes. Now I am pouring the wet mixture and a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans into the dry mixture. I am stirring until all the oats are coated with the pumpkin mixture. I am dividing the oatmeal mixture among a 12-cup muffin pan. I am going to bake these for 25 to 27 minutes, and I'm going to let them sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. After the oatmeal cups have cooled, I am wrapping each individual one in plastic wrap to freeze. I am going to place all of them together in a large freezer bag, and then they are ready to store in the freezer. To reheat the oatmeal cups, you remove the plastic wrap and heat in a microwave for 1 to 2 minutes or until they're heated through. You can place a coffee cup of water in the microwave as it cooks. This keeps the oats from drying out. When ready to serve, these are delicious with a little bit of maple syrup poured over the top.
Now I am moving on to dinner freezer meals. Every one of these freezer meals are super easy. You just dump them in a pan or a bag and you're good to go. The first one that I'm going to start out with is herb roasted chicken and vegetables. For this recipe, you're going to need a little bit of olive oil, some salt, some chopped onion. The recipe calls for minced dried garlic. I'm going to use garlic powder, some parsley, basil, onion, carrots, potatoes, and then chicken. I'm going to use chicken legs, and because I'm not a huge fan of chicken legs, I'm going to add a chicken breast for me. You can also use chicken thighs, or I think pretty much any kind of chicken that you would like. And you are going to need a 9x13 pan. When you're chopping carrots, do you ever just kind of snack on carrots as you're chopping them? I do it almost every time. These little baby carrots are so good. I just heard that we are in for some rain today, and I thought, what a perfect day to be putting freezer meals together. It's a little cloudy, the wind is blowing, and rain will be falling and hitting our home and our windows, and I just love the sound of rain. Don't you? I have decided I'm actually going to make 2 pans of this because I need some more chicken. I have 2 older boys and a husband, and they are not going to only want like 1 piece of chicken. So I am going to make this in 2 pans. But I'm going to continue to add the seasonings to everything before I put it in the second pan. I'm going to drizzle everything with some olive oil. It's a 1/2 teaspoon for each seasoning. And then you just toss to coat. To freeze, you are going to cover the aluminum pans tightly with both plastic wrap and aluminum foil. And then you freeze it until you are ready to bake.
When ready to bake, you thaw the dish in the refrigerator overnight. Then remove the cover and bake at 375 for 1 hour. Make sure that you use a meat thermometer and the chicken reaches the right temperature. Every single one of us thoroughly enjoyed this meal. The flavor was phenomenal. It smelled like Thanksgiving coming out of the oven. I will be making this one again.
We love baked teriyaki chicken, and this next freezer meal is a baked teriyaki chicken with vegetables and rice.
For this recipe, you are going to need some low sodium chicken broth, pineapple chunks, some stir-fried vegetables, chicken, some thicker teriyaki sauce. I went with the P.F. Chang's. Theirs seems to be pretty thick. Instant rice, and an aluminum pan. You can mix all of these ingredients in the pan that you will be freezing it in if you want to, but I decided to mix it first in a bowl because I want to spray my pan. I'm going to start off by adding the stir-fry vegetables, the can of chunked pineapple undrained, 1.5 cups of rice. So that's 1, and this is a half. 1 1/4 cups of chicken broth. This is 1. This is a 1/4. And 3/4 cup of the teriyaki sauce. I'm gonna give all of this a really good stir. I have sprayed my aluminum pan, and I'm going to add the vegetable mixture into this pan. Now I'm going to place the chicken on top of this mixture. I'm going to add some salt and pepper, and the remaining 1/4 cup of teriyaki sauce. I'm going to cover this tightly with aluminum foil. Before baking, you are going to want to let this thaw out in the refrigerator overnight. You're going to heat your oven to 400 degrees, and it is going to cook for 40 to 50 minutes. Check your chicken with a meat thermometer and make sure that it reaches the correct temperature of 165 degrees. Before serving, you can garnish this with some extra teriyaki sauce or some sliced green onions.
Nothing says fall like a nice warm bowl of soup. My final freezer meal is turkey meatball and tortellini soup.
For this recipe, you are going to need a bag of cheese tortellini, a bag of meatballs. The recipe calls for turkey meatballs, but we are going to use the Italian style meatballs this time. A bag of frozen spinach, some Italian seasoning, 3 cans of chicken broth, and 1 can of diced Italian style tomatoes. To a 1-gallon freezer bag, I have added my frozen spinach. To that, I am going to add the diced tomatoes, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, cheese tortellini. My bag of meatballs is a lot larger than what the recipe calls for, so I'm going to only add half of the meatballs to this. If you are going to freeze this, you do not add the chicken broth at this point. It is all set to go into the freezer. When you are ready to serve this, you are going to place the chicken broth in a large pot, bring it to a boil, add the ingredients from the bag and simmer it until the pasta is tender and the meatballs are heated through, about 10 minutes. You can garnish this with cheese and enjoy.
Freezer meals are perfect on those days where you just don't feel like cooking, or you're in a rush and you need something very quick for dinner. It actually takes a little bit of weight off my shoulders knowing that I have freezer meals in my freezer prepared for those kinds of nights. Make sure you head on over to Kimmy's channel to see what she's preparing for her freezer meals. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.